Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Manny B Investing in BI, and we've got a Blueshift video for you. I wanted to take a look, do a little bit more deep diving into Blueshift. I know after we've picked up a lot of tokens, we've been using the protocol, but trust me, I'm digging it. I really think the vision is out there, and I'm big on futuristic thought, but I was just like looking on the webpage and scroll all the way down here to the bottom. And it says our partners, DeFi, Polygon, input, output. This is an exchange. Next, Shima. I don't know what that is. Seller, multi-chain. They need to get rid of that. Multi-chain is pretty much done. Shima, Capital, Kava, Symbiosis. Is this the Cardano Foundation? Just Cardano in general. CoinGecko. So it looks like partnership is used kind of loosely here because, I mean, what kind of partnership can you have with CoinGecko? What kind of partnership can you have with Cardano? And some are legitimate. Algorand Foundation, Algorand Blockchain. So they're using Milkomeda. They're using Algorand. They're using CoinGecko. They're using DeFi Llama. But the partnerships, Polygon, Algorand Foundation, they were paid to be able to bridge over to Algorand and build DeFi on Algorand. They're doing that. I think there was some kind of grant, if I'm not mistaken. But these other ones, I don't really know what they are. So I'm going to start going through, especially this one. This one interests me. And then the capital, because that screams VC to me. And remember, VCs are not bad. We need money to build. Projects need money to build. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to take a look at the Shima Capital, and I hope I'm pronouncing it right. But this looks like, early stage VC firm investing in disruptive Web3 and blockchain technology companies. This is a VC, venture capitalist. They make investments in products and they want a return. That's what, you make the investment for. Let's take a look at the team. I want to see these faces if they provide them to us, and they do. So we've got the managing general partner, the CTO and investment partner, head of research and investor, head of gaming, chief of staff, and head of platform. This guy's got 3 titles. Head of talent. Very interesting collection of folks here. But what's even cooler is their investment portfolio, analytics. Let's look through and see if we see anything that interests us. Consumer. Bet swap, interesting. Game starter, Lunar Crush. Is a social intelligent company that enables the community to make informed investment decisions by harnessing the power of real-time social insight and key market metrics. Lunar Crush empowers the individual to realize their full investment potential. Interesting. I'm familiar with that. They've got their hand in that pot. Okay. Sphere. One inch. ADA swap? Yeesh. That ended up being a bad investment. 1 inch was not, though. Algomint, I think, ended up... Did Algomint go bust? I can't remember if they did or not. I think they stayed. There was another one that left. Okay. So they're all over the place. Blueshift. Yep, they're on there as DeFi. So they've made an investment in them. D.Fi. Another one. Liquid. Optum. Symbiosis. So very, very interesting. infrastructure, Algorand, Chainport, Milkomeda. So they've got a lot of winners. Polkadot. They've got a lot of winners. So Pudgy Penguins. Wow. There's a ton of others that I'm not really familiar with, but let's take a look at job boards because this can probably, give us some insight on what's going on. Who are they hiring for? All of their Chainport on there. Let's see if there's jobs at Blueshift. If there's a bunch of jobs available, I'd be a little worried. Doesn't necessarily mean only bad, but it makes my ears stick up. Not seeing Blueshift on here. Liquid. Milkomeda. And it tells you like the employees that they have, the amount of employees. Can we get that information for Blueshift? Wing Riders. Okay. Nothing for Blueshift. What's that mean? Well, it can mean a couple of different things. It can mean that they already have their team, they're rolling, they're ready to go. Or they're not ready to hire. Hard to say. But I think it's like, it's insight, right? Account executive for sales and tribal. Okay. So nothing for Blueshift. Maybe they don't hire for them. Or maybe they do. And they just don't need the jobs. It sounds like a good question. But let's go ahead and look at this. January 12th, 2023. So earlier this year, first month, there was an interview. VC Shima Capital and Blueshift Fireside chat about market trend. I don't know if they're going to get into anything dealing specifically with Blueshift, but it is very interesting to me that they are going to be talking. Looks like they're going to be talking with Igor M. All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Corey Ross, head of marketing at Shima Capital, an early stage VC firm investing in all things Web3. And we're going to talk to Igor. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Makalev. That seems like it could be right. We'll just say Igor M. CEO of Blueshift, one of Shima's portfolio projects. Blueshift is a cross-chain DEX based on a unique portfolio management approach. Igor. Hi, everyone. It's Igor M. here from rainy Amsterdam. Happy to be here. That's kind of like his intro. He said that before. I think he said that on the interview he did with Pete, Learn Cardano podcast. Corey, same here. So in the first part of our conversation, we learned a bit more about Blueshift, and then we'll move on to market trends and talk about what it takes for DeFi projects to survive the crypto winter. This is going to be good because this is the question that I had. How is Blueshift surviving crypto winter, especially a Milkomeda project where a lot of the other Milkomeda projects have kind of, fluttered out? They might not be going for good, but they definitely have funding issues. There's definitely some funding problems that they have. And Blueshift seems to just be marching along. So I'm curious as to how are they able to do that? So far, the question, Igor, what is your crypto background? So this is going to be some information that we get to collect here. This is going to be a good one. Yeah. So I've been in crypto for over 7 years. A couple of years ago, I was responsible for the crypto topic at the Boston Consulting Group, BCG, where I've been working for Charles Hoskinson in the capacity of project leader there. I got to know Cardano's team pretty closely, and in my own time, at some point, I've decided to found and build Blueshift, which is a decentralized portfolio-based DEX. But next to that, currently, I'm also working on a EY Parthenon in capacity of partnering in emerging technologies and digital ecosystem strategy, where I help companies big and small to transform towards decentralized business models and become more Web3 native. Very interesting. I wonder if that's going to take any time away from Blueshift, or is he going to step away from Blueshift? Will he down his role? Will someone step up? Or will this not affect his Blueshift operation at all? Corey, wonderful. So how did the team form, and what's the story behind Blueshift as a collection of people? Igor. Yeah, absolutely. So through the years, together with the team involved in Blueshift, we've been building things like CBDC Tracker, so Central Bank Digital Currency Tracker, which is a #1 in the world source of fresh data on CBDCs. Been working on DAO Pulse, which is a smaller type of approach, but significant, specifically for tracking quality of decentralized autonomous organizations. We've done different types of work for commercial banks, as well as traditional incumbents in the space trying to go Web3 native. So this combined with my interest in Cardano, which I mentioned after having worked with them and understood the ethics behind Cardano. At some point, I sat down with one of my friends from MIT who joined a San Francisco-based community of people excited about fair launches. We thought, hey, let's combine all that. So Cardano, fair launch ideology, and our desire to build a new tech for DEXs, a tech that doesn't necessarily base itself on a pair-based approach, but introduces a portfolio-based approach. So we put it all together, and that's how the first generation of Blueshift was born around 2.5 years ago. And we as a team came around it because we really like the deep technological and deep scientific aspect of our work. Corey, great. And what exactly makes Blueshift unique? And before we go to that, I believe Blueshift was a previous company that was building something, I think it was a DEX maybe, on Ethereum. And I think they probably, like he said, they pivoted, they kind of mushed everything together and pivoted. So I like that. But they have a product. They didn't pivot and say, hey, give us money. We're build something we promised. They actually did the thing. And then they said, hey, check it out, and brought users in. And that's where we are right now. So what makes Blueshift unique as the same notion as what made an interesting and evolutionary approach around indexes in traditional stock investing. So you have different types of automatically traded funds, which have different stocks added and removed based on different types of metrics. Same approach we use for Blueshift. Where you're an investor, you don't invest in one particular token, but you invest in a bucket or portfolio of tokens, which we have carefully crafted for you through our DAO. And that's what makes it very different. And once several tokens exist in a certain portfolio, fragmentation itself goes down as well, because you don't need to anymore have different pairs containing the same token. You have a portfolio that contains all of them, and you can trade against the aggregate liquidity, which reduces slippage, which reduces impermanent loss and adds to the efficiency of that liquidity. So that's what makes it unique. Corey, wonderful. And is there any more you can tell us about how portfolios work? Igor, yeah, sure. So portfolios work on the basis of internal oracles that help to mitigate price fluctuations, and also portfolios currently work on the basis of cross-chain exposure. So again, once you have staked multiple tokens inside one portfolio, you as an investor can choose to hold it this way, or you can withdraw only one, or you can add only one after that. And once it's exposed to multiple blockchains, you can trade between chains without the need for bridging all the time. And then you can use multiple chains to actually perform that type of swap or trading or investing, which again raises capital efficiency and makes it a new standard in terms of usability. So that's the core of the portfolio. And that sets itself apart from all of the other indexes that we've seen pop up on Cardano almost overnight. Corey, wonderful. And what is the latest portfolio that Blueshift launched and how is it going? Igor, the latest portfolio that we launched is called the Cardano Index. This is a major milestone for the Blueshift because it's the first major index for the blockchain ecosystem that we have launched. It should act as a performance indicator for the overall Cardano's ecosystem and give you a cross-chain exposure to various projects. We have carefully crafted the composition of the portfolio by talking to Cardano's ecosystem. So we have some of the best projects in there, some of the most exciting ones, such as Wi-Fi, Maker, Cornucopias. So all of them are there, and they have launched their presence on our DEX just recently. Once again, this also, together with the cross-chain capabilities that we have added recently, provides you, as a Cardano investor, exposure towards Algorand and vice versa. So you, as an Algorand investor, as native Algorand users can also get exposure to Cardano native assets, which is a strong answer towards the promise of Web3, which is connecting all the various disconnect bits. Corey, thank you. So now that we learned about Blueshift, let's move to the second part of the conversation and talk more about the market. So what should the Deep Dive project do to navigate successfully through the crypto winter? Igor, yeah, so I think many projects are going through the soul searching space currently. I think the number one is that understanding how exactly you provide tangible utility to users. So what exactly is that core unique utility that makes your product go useful as opposed to just a pure speculation game? And that is something that we've been doing and continue to do today with a lot of projects. They don't have anything that you can actually use. It's just a token that you're trading against your other people in your social media. And you're all playing this game just trading against each other. You're not actually using anything. So I think the number one kind of market downturn. So I think that is the number one kind of market downturn. So therefore, sometimes it means you find priorities. It is, of course, optimizing your budget because you need to survive through the winter. You need to develop features that you find useful. You need to make sure that you are well connected with the rest of the DeFi building blocks. So to say, you need to explore new ecosystems because constantly new ecosystems pop up and you need to know what your place is in those ecosystems. And surely you need to leverage partnerships as you work in those new ecosystems. So there's a lot more active work with regards to community building and building features that are exactly useful and have clear utility for the end user. Corey, and what exactly is Blueshift doing during the crypto winter? Good question. Igor, I have doubled down on our cross-chain protocol, and in less than a month, it will be complete and allow for what was explained with cross-chain liquidity swaps. Without the need for bridging, you'll be able to swap in the exchange, assuming a token is in a certain portfolio on Blueshift. And also, you'll be able to use aggregate liquidity for both chains to be available for swaps that are possible without bridging. So it's a completely new level with regards to capital efficiency and cross-chain user experience. And then, of course, after that, we also will add other chains in case of Blueshift is clearly synergistic because of its liquidity idea. So we are expanding to other chains. We have just done Algorand, and we right now are working on deployment to Kava. And of course, eventually we'll connect to core layer 1s as well. They say core layer 1s. What are they talking about? They're talking about Ethereum? What other core layer 1s are out there that you guys speculate they would be connecting to? I heard Neo. I heard them throw Neo out there. I don't know if that's a layer 2 or not. But Corey, are there any questions you want to throw my way? Igor. Oh, so they turned things around. Igor. Yeah, maybe it would be interesting to know which trend you see in your portfolio projects during crypto winter yourself. What is there that now seems to be different from the previous time? Good question. And this Corey person that he's talking to, are they on the team still? Did they name themselves? Corey Ross, head of marketing. Corey has a senior marketing position in crypto since 2017. Okay, so he's a marketer. DeFi, dApps, cool. All right. Sorry, jumping away. Who is this Corey character? What's he about? So right now, I say the biggest trend is that we're currently seeing with our portfolio is, when possible, that they're holding off on token launches. So no TGEs at this moment until there's a little bit more stability in the market. So hopefully regroup it in the spring and see how that goes. And then on to the gaming side. Capital has a fair number of gaming companies on this portfolio. It's pretty much business as usual because it's basically always a good time to play video games. Igor. Yeah, absolutely. How do you adapt to new market conditions in terms of having enough liquidity, in terms of raising new capital? Corey, right now, Shima capital is relatively new. In the grand scheme, a lot of us have been in this space for a while, like yourself, and survived the last crypto winter a few years ago. And one of these lessons from that time, if you remember, is that during bear markets, this is when successful projects are born. So as long as it's financially responsible, now's the time to be building the next big success story in crypto. And that's what VCs are still looking for, even during different times. Igor. Awesome. Thanks. Corey. Just to keep it going, considering your involvement in the crypto market and as the head of an emerging technology that you are partnered on, which scenarios do you see for the crypto market's development? Igor. Yeah, I'm glad you asked that about the scenario, because hopefully nowadays it's clear that there is no one-size-fits-all pathway for single future answers towards that. So we've done a bit of analysis, and we think that there are key critical uncertainties around the future scenario before we go into scenarios. And those uncertainties are, first of all, the regulatory response. So how exactly the industry will be regulated. After the issues with FTX, after what happened with all the hack and different issues with the protocol's liquidity being drained very quickly, that hurt investors. So what exactly would be the regulatory response, right? Will it be crypto native? Will it be very restrictive? So that basically is a big uncertainty in there. Next one I would say is the performance and scalability promise of blockchain-based ecosystems. Will there be enough resolved for the blockchain-based ecosystems to serve? For example, payments-based use cases or central bank currencies use cases. Next one is surely the hegemony of national currencies. Will it prevail, or will people start doubting national currencies, and maybe USD, euro, pounds will be all volatile and shaky, and people will stop using them for store failure types of use cases? And the last one for me is the geopolitical conflicts and pandemics. Will there be more of that or not? Because during the time of conflict, the big issues like pandemics, people feel more empowered to use gray zone types of means of payments or means of value storage. So I think on a basis of those scenarios, we will have various types of futures. So one of them can be explosive. Adoption of crypto in case regulation will be favorable, but there will be a lot of instability in the world, or in this case, truly, especially if technology allows and performs scalability issues are solved. Exposure adoption is almost guaranteed. But on the contrary, in case regulation will be restrictive, the world will be super stable. Technology will not deliver its promise. Scalability will still be an issue. Well, Then there's a bit of a demise for the decentralization type of future that I can envision. Somewhere in between, it can be a slow burden. It can be a bit of a trade market type of scenario as well. It can also be in case of regulation will not be decisive, but performance scalability issues will be resolved so that banks and payment companies would simply use technology to boost the new innovation cycle in the financial services industry. I can also see a future like that. So that probably is enough in terms of potential futures. As you see, it is based on 4 core uncertainties that I mentioned. Okay. Corey, really great answer. Thanks a lot, and thanks, Igor, for your time. That's all the questions that we have right now in the first Shima Blueshift Fireside chat. This is really great. Igor, my pleasure. Thank you very much. And that was a quick interview that they did in January 12th, 2023. Igor M., the CEO of Blueshift, and the marketing person, Corey Ross, over at Shima Capital, the VC that's funding Blueshift. So I wonder if Blueshift is willing to talk about their VC and capital and stuff like that. I know, some of them might have NDAs and they can't talk about that stuff, but I'm still going to look into asking these types of questions because I'm curious, even if we can get, vague stuff, like how much runway do you have, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what we have for you today. Blueshift earlier this year before the rebrand, but a lot of good information nonetheless. So we read it for you. What do you think? Do you like Blueshift? Do you think it has potential? Does the VC angle bother you? It doesn't bother me, but I know a lot of Cardano people are really anti-VC. I'm not really sure why, but that's a okay opinion to have. Doesn't bother me at all. I just know that projects need money to build. Can't build anything, can't help anybody without money. And these VCs have the money. So let me know what you think. Put it in the comment section. Hit that like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.